So I want to show you a quick video here how a voltage drop helps me determine the solution. This is a Craftsman riding mower. The customer complained that when he turned the key it just made a clicking sound. Now typically this thing's been sitting for maybe a couple weeks. The battery's probably drained, and if I test the battery here, obviously you can see this terminal is really nasty. If I test the battery, I've got 12.3, so I'm low on the battery for sure, but it should be enough juice in the battery that we should at least be getting a clicking sound. And when I turn the key, I don't get anything. So what I want to do is I can take right now you can't see this, but I'm putting the 2 liters, the positive, right on the post. I'm going to do the same on this positive side. You're going to see in a second, but I want to do the negative side. I'm going to put the positive on the battery terminal, and I'm going to put the negative right on the wire. And what I want to see is if there's any voltage drop across where this connection joins the battery and where this wire joins this connector. I'm going to do it on the negative side right now. Same exact thing. Positive on the battery post, negative on the wire itself. I'm going to turn the key. Okay, we heard some clicking, but we've got 0 volts on the meter. So that tells me that the ground connections, at least at the battery where the ground cable meets the battery, are really good. Now, blow some of that crud off. I'm going to do the same exact thing on this one. I don't think, it doesn't matter which lead necessarily, but 1 lead on the battery post, 1 on the cable. That's going to tell me if the crimp for the cable is good on that little connector, as well as the connector to the battery terminal. All right, I'm going to turn the key. 10.65 volts. So that tells me that between this battery post and this wire, where the actual copper wire, I've got a voltage drop of 10, just say 10.5 volts. That's a huge jump. We want something like 200 to 500 milliamps, so not even, millivolts, not even a volt. So what I'm going to do to double check that it's not between here and here, I'm going to go to here and here this time, and we'll check the connector. Trying to do a lot at once. We'll check the connector and the battery post and turn the key. Still the same. Okay, so now we know it's not between the cable and the connector, it's between the connector and this battery terminal. So I'm going to take this off and clean this, and then we'll retest it. Okay, so we're back. We've cleaned our battery post here. I've poured some baking soda solution on it, cleaned it with a scrub brush. And now, I have not tested this yet, but I suspect that we're going to get a crank. The battery might still be dead, that it's not going to turn the motor over very well. But you're going to hear the motor turn is going to be my guess, and we will see. So this is the first test. I've got the spark plug off the motor, so it's not going to crank, or it's not going to start, but it should crank. So 12. I've seen 12 millivolts at the most. So that tells me between these 2 connections, they're good. And of course you hear the motors cranking now. You can see this thing needs some cleaning, but we're going to put a charge on the battery, see if the battery will hold a good charge. Other than that, he should be good to go.